Welcome to the Day Trader and Swing Trader Setups watch list, where we look at stocks that broke out on our intraday alerts at the premium alerts at swingtradersetups.com. Intraday alerts create great day trading opportunities as well as carry forward for future days tradings on these breakout stocks. What we do is we review the live alerts that came out intraday on our website for our premium alert subscription holders. We'll keep up with 475 stocks there, and for the breakouts and the breakdowns, they're time stamped with the price, time of the alert, and the time of the post. And also sometimes, like UPS shown here, actually has been on the bull zone for about $7 from several days ago, and this morning it gapped down, and so when it came through the current bull zone breakout, it gave another great alert for an intraday trade setup. So we're reviewing those alerts from our watch list of 475 stocks, as well as scanning for 5 through 5,000 stocks at the end of the day for other alerts similar that came out on different stocks off of our watch list. By subscribing to our service, you're available to see these alerts as they come out early in the mornings or throughout the day. That gives you time to come in and review, see which stocks you might be interested in setting up a swing trade on. We even have these on a weekly alert, and weeklies are really for the long-term swing traders, a better setup on a weekly alert. And for multi-day trade swing traders, these daily breakouts. You also have time to go select some options if you're an option trader before the close of business, since the video comes out after hours. Now we're going to take a quick look at the watch list for the stocks that triggered today, then a quick 3-minute tutorial on support and resistance levels that are on our charts for the new viewers, and then we'll get right into the complete list, and we will go through chart by chart and give you a 10-second view of each chart so you can see what might or might not be at support and resistance levels on these alerts. Thanks for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel while you're here. Take a quick look at the very short list we had today on breaks. DVMT went into the weekly bear zone. Continuation from that big ugly day it had, or week it had last week. We had 3 bull breaks. Give you a chance to just look at the symbols as usual. We had 14 bear breaks on the daily. You know, we do this so you can pause the video and look at the stocks on the list. And we only had 2 accelerators to the upside on the breaks. We'll give our usual 3-minute tutorial, take a quick look at these, and I'll get done with this. This is a mini tutorial on what the lines mean on my charts if you're a first-time viewer or been a while since you viewed. We're scanning on weekly and daily charts for my condition. When this green line is up, it's my bull zone, and when the red line is up, it's my bear zone. You need to be aware of support and resistance lines and what charts do at levels, and that's what these levels are for. Just quickly as I can do this, and we're going to put a video on YouTube getting more from your swing trading charts that'll be more detailed and look at more stocks, how they react to these lines. But the gist of what you see here is this is what I'm scanning for, and as you can see here, this showed up in the bear zone. It did go down for a few days, but these green lines are support. and that's why it fought for a few days, tried to bounce back up, headed back down again, came right back into the bear zone, excuse me, and continued on down. Now the lines, here's what they represent. A green line is a place that a stock went up to and rejected. So as this green line redrew itself every time we made highs right here, and then it stayed across here for reference points, continues the same line here for reference points. Resistance, when you get above it, becomes support. This green line was drawn way back in the history, and when this stock broke above this resistance level, when it came back down, it held it, it held it, it held it, it tested it and held it again and again. That was support. That's why I want you to be aware of what these lines mean, and you'll see them on my charts. And then the activity that stocks do, sometimes they go, that's my first target, that's my second target. Many times stocks go target 1, pull back a little, target 2, then they may pull all the way back to 1 and go again if they're continuing an uptrend. In this case, it did the pull back. This blue line is a 50-period moving average. This orange line is a 200. So that's what I want you to be aware of as well. And then I have a pivot system that consists of this blue line at the top, yellow line at the bottom, and my target 1 and target 2. You'll see this particular day this stock gapped down, huge gap down, open way down here. The low on this stock was 169.68. I'm getting that right out of this box over here. And the value of that yellow line was 169.67. Within 1 cent, it held that line and bounced that day for a huge bounce. It's not a support level, but it's where I look for stocks to try to hold. It's where I look, if I'm short, say from here, this is where I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to move 2 levels, target 1, target 2, going up, target 1, target 2. The pink lines all represent places the stock has gone down to and bounced. This pink line is referencing this last pivot low. So as you're selling down into it, it may bounce again. If you get below it, then it becomes resistance. And that's all these lines mean. I just want you to know what they mean going forward. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get started. Okay, this first stock, now this is a 15-minute chart. Dell Technologies, big pullback on Friday. Actually, you didn't need my help figuring this one out. And then, of course, this morning it ran up, started out here, sold off, did this big spike right back into support resistance, and rejected, and then sold on off more today. So here's your daily on this, and then here's that support line it hit at the bottom today, and the 200-day, but it threw it into the daily bear zone this morning. It actually triggered it on Friday when it went through it the first time at 80.66, and here's your weekly that it triggered right here, as you see on our list here, at 75.26. This is a pretty big move. I really don't know what this does from here. You know, it's chatter kind of thing, and chatter's hard to predict. Your bull zone stocks, we got DGX, just continues this uptrend. This actually went on the daily. First bull zone alert on that week right there. It was plodding along in an uptrend, and it got the momentum. Actually, it was right here. Show it to you on the daily. This was a bull zone level break, but it requires the momentum, and right here is where my momentum kicked in. And then when it cleared to 200, you had this big run. So I'm really cautioning, you know, the market is pretty volatile right now and moving around a lot. So don't chase these stocks. And that's the reason I'm trying to go back and show you. Gilead ran into this weekly resistance line here, and it did close below it. This stock is super strong. I ain't by no means saying it's done. It's at the 200 week, and this was an old high it had rejected in the past at 88.85. That's where it is now. and it's just been an explosive move for 4 weeks here. Just finally hit the weekly bull zone up here. Now, of course, it's been on the daily for way back here at $75 is when we put this on the daily bull zone break. And the last weekly bull break was this IRBT. This again is the daily. You know, we first put this in way back here in December. First bull zone break. And then as it continued making higher bull zone levels, it was crossing them again and just continued this uptrend. Then it went into this sideways base, started breaking again on the bull levels when it got through the 200 day, but kicked back in on our alerts right back here about 4 days ago. And so now today, it finally actually crossed the bull zone levels last week. And here's where we are right here on this week's bar. It came in today because of the momentum coming into the bottom side on the weekly. Move right on to the daily bears. Remember the level you see in these columns. This is your trigger price. This is where the stock ended up at the close of business P&L wise against this level. This is the down for the day. Some of these just crossed toward the end of the day, so the day was down $7, the stock was down 5, down 71 cents, down 43 cents. This stock down 7.65, but only 36 cents was after the bull zone, or the bear zone in this case. So we got Apple breaking into the daily bear zone, but of course it's been selling off for days and days and days. Now Apple's just a prime example. We're coming into the bear zone on the daily today, and technically this is a big base here. But our active trader alerts, they use a whole different system of factors. I use I call it F25, 50, 100, 125, so that you can take the bigger price stocks and break them out to different levels. I already have 50 after we brought this stock right here on a short watch. Our F100 and F125 brought it in during this trading day. I think the 125 was down around this lower level, and then we've had 3 big down days since then. So it gives a lot earlier look for the active traders. It's also a way for some of you guys to say, hey, if this thing's coming in on a short watch, maybe I want to cut my position if you're already long, unless you're long-term forever holder. Another stock, very similar story on it, just now hitting the bear zone way down here, about a $3 drop, where that came across the alerts today. And these alerts that you see, 475 stocks are put out on the internet when these levels are crossed. But the faster alerts would have picked this way back up here for our active trader alerts. And I'll show you a little more about that. That's progressing along really well. We mentioned we got the repeats out of it last week. And then we were able to, once we did that, come up with a report that we can put out middle of the day, watch list, end of the day, at night, of stocks that actually made that turn, the trend shift on the F50, F100, whether it be an uptrend drifts from down to up or up to down. Just trying to work you through these charts here while we're doing this. We're on a daily chart, remember. And also remember, you don't want to chase these stocks. That's why I show them to you. If it's way down and it's already broke a few days ago and we're just recrossing a previous bear zone, don't chase the stock. And then these bull zone alerts, especially in this market like it is, you don't want to chase something that's way up here after it broke out way down here on the bull zone. Middle of this day it broke out on the bull zone. You wouldn't want to take it right here when it said re-break way up here. That's just another alert of a continuation. That's why I show you this chart where you can see what the first one was. And if it's already broke the base, And way up here, you don't want to look at a swing trade. You're chasing it at that point. Now this stock's been selling for days. Got PBF coming in here on the daily breakdown. And this is actually a repeat. It hit on this first day. Let me widen this out. I was looking at something a minute ago. Not quite that far. Right here. And it based for 2 days, and now it's breaking down further. You broke down through the 50-day here 3 days ago, so this may get some more acceleration to the downside. And keep in mind, I got your earnings dates in here so you can see what might have affected something if that happens to line up right. REN continuation after testing the 50, PGR. After testing the 52 days, finally broke down, opened below it this morning. High day was 85 cents, 54.85. The 50 day was 54.86. So once it opened below, that was resistance, and this gave a really nice sell-off during the day. POST falling back over, just now coming back into the bear zone. Pretty good pullback on this stock already. It's at the 50-day, so that's going to be your key spot right here. This is also a pretty significant pullback right here. Ugly candle. This stock had already came in on our other alerts up here when it crossed this trend line. And then when it hit the 50 here, just like the last stock on Friday, opened today below it. High a day 52, 50 day 51.96. Gave way for a big sell-off right under that level there. Another stock's been moving down several days and broke through the 50-day again today. And then just a few daily bull breaks. We got two here. This stock was on the weekly. Big run. Now this stock is a pretty choppy stock. It's been up, down several times. Did break out today. And that is a big monster move today. So I don't know if that was news driven earnings or what. Or if it was just breaking out with momentum. And then Las Vegas Sands had this 2-day, 3-day pullback, and then a big update today. I have no idea what ran that. Again, here's where your bull zone broke, way back here. This is just a continuation, so this is a chase. Now, this don't mean this don't keep going. Here's your weekly resistance up here at 88.28. You had a little doji last week, and that's a monster day today. Took out that whole week. So this is actually pretty strong. I just don't know if it'd be a swing trade. And that's all we got here. Going to bring our 5-day recap in and look at it. Again, this is a look at our more active alerts that have picked these stocks up 4 and 5 days up those tops, like TOL as it rolled over. Apple back on the 24th would have came into some of these alerts for the short side well before this big move for active trading. Now, what we've done here, we've got all the duplications coming out, so we got that ironed out a week ago, and then we had our programs bring us what we needed next. And that's instead of having to go through all of these alerts in this alert log, which is pages on 475 stocks. There's like 20 of these to a page, and there may be 8 pages that's making different kind of moves throughout the day, and it's time stamped with where they made the move, and those are still valid. Now They might have ran $3, might have ran 50 cents, and still waiting to break out. This is a little different on this recap sheet we've come up with. Now that we've got the repeats out of the way, we're taking the stocks that ended up like this stock here, trend shift down. So it has to be an uptrending and then it started down. That could happen in the middle of the day. On a stock like Tesla, on this F50, it could go up and down 3 times. But many stocks, they roll over, they were headed up, and now they're trending down. And what this recap does is it takes that same measurement that we were calling the uptrend, and it follows not exactly the same as the alert. The alert has got momentum built into it at the time of the cross. This is just strictly yesterday was uptrending at the very last bar of the day, and now today during the day this became downtrending. Now we're running this on our F100s and our F50s for now. We'll bring it out on the F125s in the next several days. All this says is it crossed over. It made the shift. So yes, it changed today. This verifies that it's still downtrending, and that should never be. If that's not matching this, then something went wrong in the calculations. And this actually gives the trigger price that fired off. And as you can see, this stock is down at the end of the day. Now the last price sometimes comes in with aftermarket print, which I don't like, and I'm working with Ninja to try to figure out how to get the actual close price in here. And if I do, it won't take nothing to, I'll change it to say the last close. That's what we were trying to do here, and it would never calculate. But this shows you where I triggered this at to go short and where we ended up for the day. So this one's still up, this one's still up. And then this gives you the comparison to the shorter term on the F50. So this probably went down during the day and then it gave a bounce. The F50, which is right next to it, doesn't have to be crossing over to be over here. It's just giving you that value because I want you to be able to see it. I want you to know what's going on in the little shorter term trend. So even though this shifted OLED into a downtrend at 161.60, and it may shift back there again tomorrow, it did turn the F50 into an uptrend, and that was this would not be the trigger price for that uptrend. This would be a short trigger price if it were coming down on the F50. So this just lets you know. That's why I have the column right here, so you can see that the shorter term to the left here is uptrending, and then the level up above it is the shorter term F50 downtrends, and this is run off the end of the day. This actually was printed today at 5:25 p.m. We're running this back out, and this is the stocks that are now downtrending. Now this is what my subscribers pay to see. They crossed over today. I'm just giving you a glimpse of what we're doing here, and giving the guys a chance to pick up on these at the end of the day. They can see, hey, this short triggered at 185, it closed at 180. Now this stock was trying to be in an uptrend yesterday, and it rolled over on the bigger time frame at 181 today on the F100, so it'll follow the F150. So both these rolled over today. But 185, this gave an intraday alert to go short, and it ended up at $180. So that's what this is all about. So recap for the guys, so I don't have to go through all those pages. And then we have the long right above it, the ones that crossed over to the longs during the day. These are the F50s, the F100s, and these F100s are still uptrending. They crossed over today, but you can see that 3 of these turned back downtrending for the end of the day. They need to get back up. They need to get back up over what they downtrended at. This stock triggered at 145, went out at 141. They need to get back up above that for this to be valid on this uptrend long, which 142 triggered it. So if it can get back over 142, it may go back. It's still up, in an uptrend. This has got to bounce back up, and that's again why we have these right beside the 100 part, so you can realize what's going on. And then up here on these, you can see the bigger trend. OSTK became uptrending at 75.10. It ran up a couple of dollars, but technically it's still in a downtrend. Again, this doesn't have anything to do with it. This column right here. This part is used down here. I'm probably going to separate these out into two just totally separate, so they don't be confusing. This is the second day I put these up here, but I kind of want you to see them side by side. Is the reason I hadn't separated them out. So I'll probably just put this one column next to this here, so that you can see that the bigger time frame is not agreeing with the shorter time frame, if that happens to be the case. A lot of times you'll have this in an uptrend for weeks, and you'll get a pullback in that stock, and it'll come back and give an F50 long shift in the trend. Well, it's measuring a short-term trend over a few days, and now the long-term trend has been resumed. So really great setups using this stuff, and we've been really putting out some big alerts intraday as well off the F50. I use the F25 in the trade room, and then I'm going to show you what some of these did by the end of the day. They didn't all go up or down. That was on here from yesterday. We put this same list out yesterday based on Friday's close. I did a midday report as well, so guys that were in the midday and could watch this stuff without having to go through all the alerts. Try to put that out once and maybe twice a day. And then this was the end of the day. It's dated the 29th at 12:48 a.m., but this was from Friday's close. And this is that exact list right here. The end of day green zone on the 28th, which was Sunday. I put this out from Friday's business. These were the ones that were in the long zone. Now they're mixed with the ones that were in the F100 and the F50s. And these are the stocks that went up, how much they went up today. And this is just a tracking, shows the date that I put them in was the 29th. It was after midnight before they opened today. And the tracking price, which was Friday's close. And this is the actual close coming off TC 2000. And this is just if you had 100 shares, what it would come out to be. Many of these that were in the uptrend, because of today's volatility, they had red days. That don't mean they don't go up tomorrow. It depends on what state they're still in today at the end of the day. The red zone alerts right here of the stocks I was watching to the short side. There's 29 on this list. These 5 or 6 went up. This one only went up 6 cents, 37 cents, 23 cents. These are all still probably short watches. They didn't really do anything today. And these actually bounced and went up, and the rest of these all went down. Well, some of them was $1.84, $1.68, $2, $2.75, $3. Win was $16, but everybody knows what that's about. Wasn't about me calling it short, that's for sure. This stock was $4.85. YY down $3.18. These all came up on our active trader F50 and F100 alerts on Friday. They had shifted from rising to falling, and that we were now turning a trend over. And what we recommend our traders do is they take and draw a trend line. Something like OLED, for instance, was in a downtrend on a daily, and it gave a 100 alert here. We always say draw a trend line. Well, if you draw a trend line on this, you ain't cleared no trend line yet. And I would go back. This day here was on the 19th of January. I'd get on about a 30-minute chart, maybe an hourly. Let me get it on the hourly. Go back to the 19th, which is way back here, and draw a trend line. And we have this right on our website. Make sure you cleared the trend. And cleared the trend. This was yesterday's close when it gave that alert. even if you took this down a few levels, even back to here, say, well, maybe it's trying to break up. You could do this trend line, right? Friday's close. You take the close, take this last pivot high on the gap up that morning, and you ain't cleared the trend line yet. If you clear it the next day, you got a long trade. In this case, it opened and went down. So you don't just rush in it. You make sure you clear the trend line. And then something like Apple the other week, when it went off on the 24th and the 23rd, way up here, you see I drew trend lines. These were already here. These were trend lines I drew when I was looking at this to begin with. When these alerts first came out, my F50 came out on the 24th, which was right. This was the 23rd. Came out on the 23rd. This was the 24th. So I drew this trend line. Okay, I need to break the trend line. Am I breaking the trend line? And I went back to the last pivot low. It broke the trend line, so the F50 short trend alert was valid and confirmed. And that created this big downturn. That's actually where we alerted it at on the F50 this day. The F100 came in right about here on the next day. The F125 came in the latter part of that same day. This is a 1 hour chart. It was probably way down here where the F125 came out. It was down to 172 area. But you cleared the trend line. And on these trend reversals, if it's a trend reversal, you want to make sure you reverse the trend. And that's what our alerts are all about. Just giving you kind of a free look here and show you what we're going to bring in here on our weekend. We're going to have a video running on these about 3 days in arrears. The guys that are paying to see them today, it's not fair for me to show them to you in a video. So 3 or 4 days later, I'm going to show them to you, and I'm putting them in these trackings with the dates, and we can see what they did since then. Thanks for watching our video. Come on our website and check out what we're doing. $69 a month, you can get the premium alerts live, real time, and some of the stuff I was showing you right here. We're also developing now the next level. My programmer is working on this. As soon as he finished the thing that I brought you with the grid there, I said, okay, now we're at the neck. We got all the kinks worked out. We're not repeating anything now. I know everything's like it should be. Now I want you to project for me. So I know what I need to see for these alerts that are going to trigger red zone, green zone trend reversals. We're working on the software right now that will predict them sometimes between 50 cents and $2 or even $3 or $4 prior to the breakout or breakdown. I can say based on right now, this price level, this red zone alert's going to go off. I can say right now at this price level, this green zone alert's going to go off. So I can be watching Tesla in the morning, and I'm going to know on the F50 it's going to give me a green alert if it goes up another $2.65. I don't have to get the first $2. I'll take that last 3 it made today. So that's what we're working on now, is to put out projected trigger prices for these green zones ahead of the alert. It could be 20 minutes in the case of something like Tesla. It could be a day and a half in the case of some of these slower moving stocks. So you can really plan out your trade, watch what's going on, check your support resistance lines. Which when you subscribe with us, we give you these lines of old highs and all lows, show you how to put them on your chart. That's what the pink and green lines are all about. Thanks for watching our video. Go over and check out what's going on our website. SwingTraderSetups.com is where you find out about those alerts. Subscribe to our channel while you're here. Thanks for watching. While you're here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter or StockTwits at Daytrader Setups. And our website is daytradersetups.com and swingtradersetups.com. Don't forget, this video is being brought to you by our premium alerts at swingtradersetups.com. They're real-time alerts. They're posted on our website, and we're looking at our bull zone weekly and daily breakouts and our bear zone weekly and daily breakouts that are in one category on the website. And there are other categories that are more aggressive for the more active trader as well. And by having a subscription to that service, you get all these alerts intraday as they happen, and one subscription gets you access to everything, as well as our chart system. If you would like to get it, I can set you up a couple of different ways to have the green and pink lines available for your charts as you review. Let's go forward.